Multitask. Woo, good job. Good job. Good work out there. Good work out there. Oh my goodness. Tickety-tockety. What are you doing, tickety-tock? Alright. TikTok. Come on. TikTok. You gotta work, buddy. You gotta work, pal. Don't do that. We're not trying to do that. What are you doing? I'm not a fan of this technology. Can you work? Can you work? I'm getting pissed right now, bro. I'm getting pissed right now, dude. I'm getting mad. I'm getting pissed. Okay. Almost working. Almost. Okay. Oh my god, dude. No effects, dude. This sucks. Okay. We're almost there. Flip. Horizontally. Nice. Perfect. Oh, hi. Hi, guys. How's it going? Okay, dude. Like, shout out to ICE, dude, for hating America so much. Be pissed. Stay pissed. Never get happy. Never be happy. If you're happy, you're doing it wrong. Never be happy ever. Can my computer work so I can get to the real meat of the potatoes? Oh, we got some gays for Trump in the chat. Love to see that. Alright, brother. I should do this before I get on stream, because I gotta delete a bunch of stuff, because my hard drive is too small right now. Wait. Who's doing this? Can y'all grow up? Oh my god, dude. I took no Vyvanse today. So I'm a little out of it. Oh my goodness. Oh, my camera's not here. Perfect. Whatever, dude. Who cares? ICE is going after innocent people, bro. What are they doing? So basically, they descended upon this like field and went after a bunch of workers, non-criminals, of course. They turned it into a war zone, bro. Like, they turned it into a war zone for little to no reason. Like, this is not necessary at all, whatsoever. I don't want to see this shit in America. I don't want to see this shit in America. This is stupid, and it's also dumb. It's also evil. It's demented. People that like seeing this are 100% bad people. I'm telling you. Like, they just are. Because there's no justification for this use of force in American streets. Like, the way they occupied that park in Los Angeles. Like, why are they invading Afghanistan right now, bro? Like, what are they doing in the middle of California at a farm? Like, this is why they have a $45 billion budget. This is where my tax dollars are going. And they're bringing in freaking planes. They're bringing in planes. Because they forgot water.
To vehemently protest what's going on here, and just in the last few minutes,
my tax dollars are paying for this flight right here to bring in water, a life flight for water. People can't get ambulance rides, but they can get a big ass chopper to bring water because they couldn't plan ahead of time. You know, it's hot in California in the farms, where these people are working for $2 an hour, and you want to go assault them.
The scene here. They are landing in
Believe
the
it or
middle
not.
of the farm as we speak. It does appear that they were not planning to be here as long as they have been, and so this helicopter that you're looking at here, guys.
Yeah, dude. And by the way, I saw something where someone fired on ICE agents. You cannot be surprised in America when someone responds to government tyranny with their right to bear arms in the Second Amendment. Okay, when the big government, when the federal government sends agents to your house and they say our agents supersede your local rights and your state rights and your constitutional rights, it is probably an expected response that some people eventually, when you treat yourselves as a lawless agency, you don't identify yourselves most of the time. The only way they identify themselves is if they're fully kitted out in military and like paramilitary gear, essentially. You cannot be surprised when people start trying to defend themselves.
How humanely
there's no
this
reason
is
to do
being
this.
handled, whether these people who are maybe here illegally, but whether they're being offered.
Corey, thank you for $5. Okay, Corey, I'll tell you what. We should be more strategic and manipulative. So like abolish ICE, I would not run on that. But I would say, for example, like any person who's talking about doing these raids for innocent people, get them out of there. If ICE is not going to be going after actual criminals, they should not be. I mean, their funds should be diverted to actual units going after criminals. We know they're being diverted right now to go after innocent people. I think there's a more I'm trying to think of a good word, a positive word for manipulative, but there's a much better way to message on it. I agree with you. But like the FBI, for example, after the 60s and 70s and 80s, what they did to the civil rights leaders, like the FBI was not made better by saying abolish the FBI. That was a societal change that led to different leaders, that led to different appointments. It's a little bit of a long process. So you got to find the weak point in their argument.
Be pointed in the direction of a path to citizenship. There certainly is that criticism, but you also have Republicans at the same time accusing Democrats and those on the left of amplifying this rhetoric against federal agents and ICE agents. So we're seeing this finger pointing.
All right, Julia, we may have to.
It's not simply finger pointing. We have real concerns, including commentators that voted for Trump like Joe Rogan. There are real concerns here. It's not finger pointing. We don't want people to be in danger, but that's why we want ICE agents to identify themselves. Democrats are trying to pass a law right now that federal agents need to identify themselves, unless if they are in a very particular role in a special operation. If they're going after like a deep gang, but they're not doing that. They're not doing that. Okay, if you go after a gang or some other group that's deeply ingrained, then there is justification for different levels of, of being able to be anonymous. Okay, that is 100% justified and recognized. But right now, Border Patrol and ICE is having a larger unidentified group than the FBI by like 10 times more ICE agents. It's not justified, but by any means.
Step away really quickly here. The situation at the farm has escalated. It looks like a lot of tear gas and whatever this green smoke is as well. And a protester threw something toward the ICE officers there, but a lot of cars turning around and exiting. So it looks like something happened.
These are the criminal gangs, bro. These are the criminal gangs working our farms. But Stephen Miller and like Tom Homan and all these supremacists, they did tell ICE agents to go after, peaceful people. They told them go for high numbers, go for quota numbers. Don't go after criminals. They took resources away from going after criminals, away from cracking down on trafficking, away from cracking down on drugs, away from cracking down on organized crime, and they diverted it towards the Home Depot Gestapo. That's what they did. All the reporting says so. The rhetoric says so. The funding says so. They want ICE agents to do displays of force in America to scare people because that's what authoritarians do. They do military parades. They do show of force. They openly they taunt you when they take your rights away. And Americans should not and cannot stand for it because the intelligence apparatus here, when they're scanning our faces to see who is an illegal immigrant, they are scanning your face too. The databases include us. When Palantir and the AI gods put our dossiers together, that includes all of us. If you think it's only restricted to illegal immigrants or even just like criminals, you are, I guess, celebrate to you in Kansas. Like it's just so, it's, I don't know.
That forced that crowd to turn and run. Rich, are you still? Yeah.
Yeah, so as we're listening to the radio chatter down here, the fire department actually had to leave this zone and head back to their where they have set up a command center for treatment for the civilians. And they said that they needed to leave the area because the crowd was starting to get...
They deported 70 American citizens so far, I think, or some high number. The number of people with green cards and legal status in Alligator Alcatraz is very high. This administration is detaining the highest number of non-criminals of any American presidential administration in American history. They're going after people we should not be going after. They're going after good members of our community. They're going after people who add to America, who help America be great. Spending our taxpayer dollars on these operations is it's so dumb. It's not only the racism part, it's just so dumb. You know, it's factually stupid. It's brain dead.
A little more hostile. So for the safety of the fire department, they have left this.
That's why Reagan was pro-immigrant. That's why the libertarians are pro-immigrant. They know immigration lowers crime in America. Immigration helps the economy. But if you say that to someone, they'll be like, no, I think every brown person is a terrorist, so they can't lower crime. But they don't care about the numbers. Like Haitian immigrants in America, Haitian immigrants have a crime rate that's like 1/5 of a naturally born American citizen.
Zone here on Laguna Road, and then shortly after that is when we started seeing the tear gas and the flashbangs and the pepper balls being fired back towards the crowd. But the crowd was also picking up items, rocks, whatever I guess they can find on the ground, and starting to throw them back towards.
How does it lower the crime rate? Okay, so immigrants come here. They first off help the economy. But just in general, if you look at crime rate averages, so let's say we have an average of like 5% of civilians or 5% of naturalized, 5% of naturally born American citizens commit crime, then like half that number for immigrants commit crime. So if you add a population into your sample, like immigrants who have a lower crime rate than naturally born American citizens, obviously is going to bring the average crime rate down. Immigrants usually flee from violent places to work in America and make America great. They run away from violence. The violent immigrants want to stay in their countries because they could do bad, corrupt things without being held accountable. Like, why do you think the warlords never come to America and the refugees do come to America? The warlords want to keep on being, in their gangs and owning people. That's what they want to do. They don't come here. And people that are here don't want to get deported, so they really stay away from doing crimes. And for the people who say like, well, they did something illegal, so therefore we could feed them maggots and take away their rights. Every person in America, citizen or non-citizen, has broken laws at some point in your life. If you're going to say someone doing something illegal is justification for the government to supersede and take away all rights, then you are selling away your own rights. We have all done something illegal at some point. We have all sped. We have all jaywalked. They used to use jaywalking as a reason to beat up black people. They'd say, oh, he jaywalked, we got to detain him and cuff him and beat him up because he broke a law. He did something illegal, therefore we need to use overwhelming force. But we should not justify the government using overwhelming force to attack people through these dumb standards. And by the way, you don't understand immigration law. You don't care about civil infractions versus criminal. You don't care about that at all because you're happy to see black and brown people brutalized and terrorized in America. You want to see alligator Alcatraz. You want to fantasize about immigrants being eaten by alligators because it gets you off because you have nothing else to worry about in your pathetic life. But I want you to be great and strong, brother. I want a better vision of America. Not this vision of sadness and despair and broken and just like broken homes because you have daddy issues. We want everyone to have daddies, and Trump is not your daddy, no matter how much you call him it, I'm sorry.
Federal agents, which is just going to create an even more volatile situation here between agents and the community members, and they at some point are just going to continue to push this crowd further and further away from.
Someone said white dude for Harris spotted. Bro, you voted for Jeffrey Epstein's best friend, who is currently covering up Jeffrey Epstein as we speak. Think about that. You voted for Jeffrey Epstein's best friend. Either Trump is hiding the real Epstein information from you, or, think about this, or he ran on child abuse to win a political election. And there is no big truth to Epstein. Either way, Trump used the topic of abused children for political gain, and you fell for it. You have to remember that every single time you say some dumbass shit. Okay, dude. Who's calling? Drop a like on the stream. Please drop a like, comment, subscribe. I'm at 30 likes so far. We need 50 likes. We need more callers. Okay, I'm going to go. No one's calling in yet. No one's calling in. No one is calling me. Call me, please. But yeah, drop likes for the algorithm. If you want to donate, go to Cash App, PayPal, Venmo, Jolah Politics. Appreciate all the support. More confirmation that ICE agents right now. ICE's Homeland Security Investigations Division, which has focused on cartels and major drug trafficking. Oh, wait, the veteran told me. Okay, so basically, ICE's supervisors are directing people away from drug cartels and trafficking and directing them to going after people who are at their workplaces. And ICE employees are thinking about quitting rather than having to continue arresting gardeners. And ICE agents are having a lot of moral dilemmas here. They don't feel good about what they're doing. They don't feel good about occupying American streets for no reason. They feel stupid dancing around in parks with military equipment, riding on horseback, thinking they look like badasses. They don't like what they're doing. And ICE agents are questioning the system. But the issue is the same with other forms of law enforcement. If you have a corrupt administration or a corrupt leadership, then if all the good people, or at least people with a conscience, if they all leave, then who are you left with in these organizations? You're left with the worst of the worst. And they're hiring like 5,000 more ICE agents, then 3,000 more Border Patrol, and 200 more, I think, like Marines to focus on domestic operations. They're trying to expand their capabilities. ICE has a bigger budget than most militaries worldwide. ICE has a bigger budget than... They have more agents now than the FBI by far. They're going after gardeners. They're going after workers. They're going after foster homes. They're going for quotas and numbers. And they have said this on multiple occasions. But again, the Trump faithful, they don't care that much. They love seeing alligator Alcatraz. But we need to reach into the decent people around us and wake them up to what's happening. The people being fed maggots, the people in 95-degree weather, the people seeking legal residence here, going through the right process, and they say, screw you, we're putting you in a cage. You're going to be treated like an animal. We're going to rip your Bible away. We're going to disrespect you and take away your rights. We need to wake people up. The MAGA that loves alligator Alcatraz, they will never wake up. But we need to overwhelm them with more numbers of people that want the good thing. People that want to be morally good and do good upon other human beings. Ronald Reagan would have failed in this political system, by the way. He would have been called a liberal cuck. 100%. Okay, someone called in. All right, you can call now. The phone lines are open again. Nice, dude. Why do people bring up other laws? Alligator Alcatraz is air conditioned. Are you stupid? Do you understand how air conditioning works? Do you think in an open air tent you're gonna have you think a couple air conditioning units with fans are gonna be able to cool? Like, just logically think about it for 2 seconds and look up a picture of the place and look up the ventilation systems they have in place. Like, you can't believe this. Please don't believe it. You're not that dumb. Howdy.
What's up?
No, the sky, of course.
Yep. That's right.
Yes, it is. What's up?
Well, I mean, I just I'm listening to you, and I've watched the daily news. I've watched the arrest in Nebraska. Now I'm watching the Camarillo actions by ICE here in California, the state I'm from. I just I don't understand what you're saying or why you seem to have maybe a narrative.
I do not want unidentified agents, federal agents, going into local areas and setting up camp and doing like shows of force in American streets for any reason.
Shows of force. Well, we have the 1952 Immigration and Naturalization Act, which is the current immigration law, was modified slightly in 1996, which gives ICE the authority to enforce our laws when it comes to said things.
Okay, don't occupy American streets. That says nothing about what I said.
Okay, so your definition of occupying streets is my definition of them fulfilling their mandate that Congress gave to them when they passed the laws.
Okay, if you think it's good to go on horseback and to bring military equipment out to a random park in LA and do like training exercises, and they labeled it a show of force, the people involved in that were embarrassed to be doing it. There's tons of reports out from the military and from DHS. They feel embarrassed because they're out there on the street. I've never been to the park. I'm just saying I don't want to see that in American streets. We never needed that before. We had higher deportation numbers under Obama without the
here we go.
brutalization of it. We don't need to be doing this
Is this
like
the
we
time
are.
for
If
your
you think it
speech?
is, No, it's not about the speech. It's about like Americans hate you right now, and Joe Rogan agrees, and Theo Vaughn agrees, and all these different people that voted Trump agree that federal agents should not be doing this shit.
Okay, so that park is ran by an illegal organization, a gang called MS-13. You may have heard of them. They sell fake IDs. They sell rugs. They have people that they have in servitude in that park. That park is full of homeless individuals. Like, do you think that the city is doing anything for that park? Absolutely not. The businesses around that park, we're actually glad that somebody did something, because Mayor Bask and her administration is an epic failure.
When we talk about the federal government sending federal agents to occupy a city block in America, I think that's a big infringement upon local and state rights, and that's one thing we do not want in America. I don't want Biden doing that to red states, and I don't want Republicans doing it to blue states. And they're not doing this in red states and red cities, which have much higher crime rates and a much bigger issue with illegal immigration. They're going after LA for a reason, because they know people like you are going to be okay with it, and they know it's a Democratic city they could sell easy.
Sure, so let's talk about Nebraska. Is that a blue or red state?
Red.
Great. And they arrested a top 100 Venezuelan who is wanted by the Venezuela government, who fled
We're not
into
talking
this
about
country 4 years
people.
ago.
We're not talking about people that have reasonable cases. We're talking about the green card holders and legal residents. We're talking about the undocumented people with no criminal history. That's the issue here, is all the innocent people being led into Alligator Alcatraz. That's why Joe Rogan hates you right now.
So are we a country of laws, or are we a country of your opinion?
So when it comes to enforcing laws with the executive, I can criticize if the executive branch is going to do things that brutalize people, even if it was legal. So even if you could say it's legal to do like Alligator Alcatraz, for example, I would still say that in the future we'll probably find some personal rights and freedoms of the American Constitution that have been infringed upon. You know, including we cannot hold people in terrible conditions like that. We already have reports of maggot infested food. We have reports of extremely hot temperatures, mosquito swarms, and just like brutal conditions for no reason. That is the intent of Alligator Alcatraz is to brutalize and terrorize immigrants. There's no reason to have a facility in the Everglades like that.
It's almost like there's consequences to coming into a country, and when you violate your contract with the federal government and you don't leave, it's almost like there's consequences for illegal actions.
Hey, I know you're getting sassy, but I'm talking about when people are at their immigration court hearings. They're at their immigration court hearings doing it the right way, looking for asylum. They have protective status. They have they're going for a green card. They're at their hearings for a citizenship test, for example, and they come and say, gotcha, we're going to take your citizenship away right now. We're going to give you no prior notice. We're not going to give you a date in a month from now where you have to leave by. We're going to take you and put you into Alligator Alcatraz. Those are the cases we are talking about. No one in America disagrees that a gang member or someone here illegally should be detained. No one disagrees. Very few people disagree. You can find like the fringes of the fringes that would disagree. But the conversation we're having is about Trump right now detaining the by far highest number of non-criminals in American history when it comes to deportations.
So the one thing that a camera will never show is the case, the details, and exactly what's going on with an individual. And it leads people like you to look at videos and make your assumptions about what's happening.
I look at the legal cases. I don't just look at the videos. I'm not emotional like you. When I look at Alligator Alcatraz, it's not surprising to me when they sell merch of Alligator Alcatraz that they're going to be doing bad shit to immigrants there. Do you think Alligator Alcatraz is a good operation?
Well, I'm just curious. What do you consider bad shit to immigrants? Can you define that, please?
Food with flies and maggots.
Oh, really?
Yes.
I would like to have you prove that statement, because it is very
We've had local reports from local media there and also national media. But you know what? The crazy thing is they don't let us in there. Cool. Usually when they don't let supervision in there, or media or democratic oversight, they won't let state Democrats in there either. When they don't allow oversight, they're usually doing bad stuff. You don't hide it if you're not doing bad stuff as a government. Or when you have a black site.
So we're taking the position that if somebody pleads the fifth, they must be guilty. Okay.
No, We're talking about government
'cause
power.
that's
You're a
what
big
this
government
country-
cuck. No, you're a big government cuck. I'm talking about the government abusing power.
No,
The government.
that's
Our
not
rights
at
are here to
all.
protect us
Okay.
from government power. You are pro-government power. I'm saying the government, if they want to dispel the rumors of maggot-laced food, then show us oversight, show us pictures, let people in, let Democrats in to survey it, to actually do a survey of it.
Sir, listen,
If you're not worried about
we
it,
don't
let
need-
them in the survey. It's a government entity paid
Sir.
for by tax dollars and FEMA funds.
Sir, we don't need to verify anything for you to feel better.
Yeah, 100%. According to our Constitution, we should not be holding people in these horrendous conditions. Yes, that is a constitutional right for all people in America.
Let me ask you, are we feelings enforcers or are we law enforcers?
According to the Constitution, the government cannot hold anybody in these horrendous conditions.
So are we going to put feelings over the law that Congress passed through the
you keep on
constitutional
going.
power?
You keep on going. No, when it comes to detaining someone,
didn't
there's still our
answer.
rights.
You didn't answer my question. That's why I asked it again.
No, because it's a
Answer
bullshit
my
diversion
question.
from the actual topic at hand. You're turning it into a political game. I'm talking about conditions people are facing.
So a lot of times I will say this. So we have two in the hand is worth one in the bush. And when I say that, I mean we're going to objectively judge the government based on what we want something to be versus what it actually is, right? And I think that that's what you and many other people like you are doing. And then when we talk about like the
You know what's awesome here?
inhumane-
You cannot talk about one
What?
fact about the situation. You got to say a bunch of like grand meta narrative shit. Can you like talk about the Eighth Amendment? Do you know what it says?
Go ahead. It's your topic.
So, no excessive bail shall be required, or excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and
that's in a
unusual
criminal.
punishments inflicted. That is in any
So-
case of the American government detaining someone.
Oh, okay.
It
So
is.
do
Oh,
you know,
okay,
like,
because
what-
I said a fact, and you don't like the facts of it. You hate the Constitution because you
Yeah,
want to terrorize
so-
certain groups of people. Yeah.
No, absolutely not. So
So the DACA recipient
what-
that's there right now, the DACA recipient that was here for 25 years with no criminal record, why is that person in Alligator Alcatraz?
No. I want to answer your question.
Yeah, you want to answer
So
the other question that
what-
helps you out more.
No,
I understand
I want
that.
to talk about the eighth. I want to talk about the Eighth Amendment. So, are we talking about an Article 3 situation or an Article 2 situation, sir?
I'm talking about the situation of immigrants being fed maggots.
Okay, perfect. So our immigration law, is it Article 3 or Article 2?
I'm talking about immigrants being forced to eat maggots.
Just answer the questions, bro.
You answer the question.
you
Is it
wanna
good
get
to
all
force immigrants to
consti-
eat maggots?
No, I want you to ask the question.
Is
You
it
decided
bad
go
to
all
force immigrants to eat
constitutional.
maggots? Is it bad to force
So-
immigrants to eat maggots? Is it bad?
That's not happening, sir.
Yes, it is.
Prove it.
Yeah, Alligator Alcatraz, which they were selling merch for and bragging about feeding immigrants to alligators.
You
They're
can't
fantasizing
prove
about
it.
it. Yeah, there's tons of reports there, but the government won't let us see it because they're doing it. Yeah,
Oh,
100%.
tons
So
of
when it comes
reports
to the
from who?
government, when it comes to the government, you don't just trust their word of how they're treating people. You actually know. You have our elected officials should be allowed to
But
go
you
survey
can't
it.
prove it. I think
I can prove it.
It's very
The issue,
very
the difference between us right now is
disingenuous of
you trust the government and their narratives without any type of care. I
No,
don't
the
trust their
problem is-
narratives. I want to be able to
Hold
have
on,
proof, and I trust the people's experiences when they come out of these places malnourished. I trust the reports on these. I trust that a lawyer's not going to lie about this stuff, or that they're not going to lie about it.
So why can't you answer my question and then you go into your diatribe about your situation that you cannot support with facts? I'm confused here.
In these situations, you side with the government. You side uncritically with the government. I don't. It's fine if you don't
No,
do that, but no
I
one
think
agrees with you. No one agrees with you that these DACA recipients with no criminal record, people that were here for 30 years with no criminal record, should not be in these conditions, being fed maggots and having their Bibles ripped out of their hands. And you disagree, and that's fine.
Let me ask you, where was all of this outrage when Joe Biden deported 1.3 million immigrants?
What outrage?
Why is it okay for the Biden administration?
The only ones who were
the
crying about
Obama
Biden were
administration-
Republicans, right? Democrats were mad about Obama, but the thing is, Obama had
No, what
record high
about
numbers of
Joe?
deportations.
What about Joe?
Here's the thing, though. No, here's the
No,
thing.
I'm asking,
Obama, but think about this
what's the
conceptually.
problem?
Obama had record numbers of deportations, right?
Mm-hmm. And do you know
and
how
the
he
left complained
obtained
about
that?
it. But the thing here is,
No, but-
remember, Trump
wait a
said he
minute.
won on immigration because immigration was out of control. But the thing is, Obama had immigration
they're
under
already
control.
here.
More people crossed over under Trump than they did under Obama. Trump's peak was over Obama's peak. So Obama was tough on immigration. So the reason Trumpers voted on the border is because Trump was racist. That's the only reason. Because Obama's border was very tight. Obama constructed this entire system. Obama hired Tom Homan, you know.
Wow,
He got Tom
you're
Homan.
really,
Tom
really
Homan
deep
got an
into the
award under
cult, aren't
Obama.
you?
Tom Homan got an award under Obama. I'm just saying the border was handled tough under Obama, but conservatives said we need Trump to brutalize immigrants. We're not happy with high deportations because
you
Obama
still
got
haven't answered
no.
my
But here's the
question.
thing: Obama got the
You
numbers
still haven't
right.
answered my
Why were you
question.
not? Were you happy with Obama's deportations?
I think he did a good job. Yeah.
Hell yeah! But Trump said he won off of immigration, right?
And you know why?
So how
and
did
you
Trump
know-
win
and
off
you know why-
immigration?
Hold on. And you know why I think he did a good job? Because he didn't do a catch and release like Joe Biden and let people into the interior of the country. He did a thing called expedited deportation by holding people within 100 miles of the border in HHS holding facilities, which gave horrible optics, kids in cages. And that's how he was able to deport so many people. It was expedited deportations. But guess what?
Okay, just really quick. If
Now-
immigrants are
hold
eating
on.
maggots in alligator Alcatraz, will you condemn it if that comes out to be true?
Well, you should be able to provide proof.
If immigrants
You're
are
the
eating
one with
maggots,
the
well,
claim.
okay. Do you disagree that in
I-
these cases we should be siding with people over the government, or should you side with the government and their narrative over
I think
people?
it's very irresponsible for you to say things that you don't have
Well,
proof
why,
for.
if they're treating them fine, why are they not allowing any oversight at all from Democrats or from anyone or the media?
Because
Like, why are
it's
they
ran-
not
okay.
allowing anyone in?
First of all, that facility that you're hyper fixated with is being ran by Florida Correctional.
Okay, and Florida state
Not by-
lawmakers
not
are
by
not
the
being allowed
federal
in.
government.
Florida state lawmakers. I said state lawmakers, buddy. Why are they not being
Mhm.
allowed in to do oversight? I would side with the people in their reports. When they call it alligator Alcatraz, okay, they brag about immigrants being fed to alligators. They sell merch of it. They fantasize about all the brutalization of immigrants.
It's a
I would
name.
imagine immigrants don't get treated well
it's
there.
a
I would imagine
name.
they don't get treated well there. It's a huge, by the way,
Well-
the people that run that camp were big donors to Ron DeSantis, and Ron DeSantis is funneling our FEMA dollars into this $450 million operation for no reason in the middle of nowhere that's going to cost
Do
tons
you
of money to
live in
take materials in and
Florida?
out. I'm just saying, FEMA's
you
federal,
live
you
in
know.
Florida?
FEMA's federal
Do you
funds, by
live
the
in
way.
Florida?
I don't think you'd know what FEMA means.
You said
if you
our.
don't know what a
so
female is.
Are you in
But, like,
Florida?
Seriously, when
Are
we
you
talk
in
about these
Florida?
taxpayer dollars, the money being spent on it, no one should be
No,
agreeing
are
with this.
you in
Because if you
Florida,
want a
yes or
facility
no?
for immigrants, you would not do it here. Why are they choosing here?
I'm just asking. Are you in Florida? You said our. So
Oh, I
are
vacation
you
in Florida.
a-
I pay
a
taxes in Florida.
Floridian?
I paid sales tax in Florida. I don't want my sales taxes going there. Go on vacation there.
Okay. So you have control of where you spend your money, do you not?
And I disagree with this right now. I think people should be
Don't spend
disagreeing
your
with it.
money
I'm
in
making a
Florida.
case against this. I'm
Great.
making a case against this. So I'm making a case about this being bad and a
Yeah.
big waste of money for Americans in general. If you don't care about all Americans,
You
that's
know what's
fine.
the
But I'm just saying,
difference- you know what's the
you
difference
are
here?
a big government cuck. I'm not. It's the big difference. Here.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just so you know, that doesn't hurt my feelings. Because,
I know it doesn't because you're an
um,
authoritarian. It's fine.
I'm an authoritarian for
Yes, you are.
having a president that is going to uphold.
Yeah, and you're
our
also
laws
gay for
that we
Trump.
have.
There you go. We have a president. You fantasize about him.
Is-
You worship him. It's fine. It's fine. I
is-
understand it.
Oh,
I
is this
get
the
it.
part where you lose the conversation and you
I
start
get it. You
calling people
fantasize about
names?
him. No,
No, not
I
at
think
all,
you are
actually.
very smart and intelligent. So,
So
would you say
let's
it's bad
talk
to feed
about-
immigrants maggots? If it came out, would you say it's bad?
So
Would you say
let
it's
me
bad
ask you-
if they're being fed maggots? Would you say it's bad? Would you say it's bad if that were
yeah,
true?
that's disgusting. Sure.
Okay, thank you. 10 minutes into
Mhm.
the conversation, you finally said it. I
Uh-huh.
agree. It would be bad.
Well, yeah,
and
but
it is
but
bad.
where's the proof? It's quite
in the
hyperbolic
pudding.
of you to say that something like that and not have any proof.
You know what? After you have dozens of legal reports from people with their experiences there, and that comes out in the first week of the operation,
Mhm.
and do you think they have a good faith attempt at making why are they doing this camp? Do you think what is the purpose of it?
Well, I think that's one of the first good questions that you've had, and it's very clear that it's to send a message to the people around the world that you can't just walk into our country.
Do you think we should
and
publicly
everything
torture
is gonna be
immigrants? Should we
fine.
publicly torture immigrants?
We're not.
Should we? Should we though?
Let me ask you: have you ever been to jail?
Should we wait? Should we publicly torture immigrants? I'm just wondering.
No, I'm asking you a question.
I'm just
Have
wondering.
you
Should
ever
we
been-
publicly torture immigrants?
have you
You
ever
want
been
to
to
scare
county? Have you
people,
been to
right?
county?
Why don't we just torture
Have
immigrants
you
out
ever
in
been
public then?
arrested?
What levels of
have
dehumanization
you
can we go
ever-
to?
Have you ever been arrested?
By the way, there's no proof at all that more punishments make people not come
No, I'm
somewhere. There's
I'm
no proof on
asking
that.
you a
But
question to gauge on what you are going to deem as normal incarceration and what's not normal. So, have you ever been incarcerated, whether it be for hours, days, weeks, it doesn't matter. Have you been arrested and been processed into jail? Yes or no?
the idea that I need to be in jail at some point in my life to understand that holding a DACA recipient that's been in America for 30 years with no criminal record is a bad thing in Alligator Alcatraz, I don't think I really need to be in jail to know that.
So this person that you so vaguely described overstayed their visa, they got their deportation order, and they stayed.
No, it's a DACA recipient.
Yeah.
And their lawyer doesn't know why they were sent here.
I'm sorry. You're hyper-focusing on one situation so you can generalize about everyone else.
I already said 20% of the current ICE detainees have zero criminal record and zero cause or zero even accusations of being here illegally, by the way. 80% have zero record at all of any type of illegal activity of any kind.
Let me explain something to you, sir. There is Article 2 administrative court processes that Congress has wrote. It's been valid since 1952, and it clearly puts the executive branch ran by the DOJ.
Buddy, I'm criticizing the way the executive is enforcing the law. Yes, when you elect the president, do you know what an executive does? What does the president do?
He ensures that the laws
Congress
of this land
makes
are
laws.
executed.
Yeah, so I'm criticizing the way they're executing the laws. I don't care about your legal arguments. I'm saying it's bad to do this to immigrants and peaceful people.
You're just one whiny swinging dick with an opinion. Good for you.
So when we increase our national debt by $6 trillion, give a huge handout to the wealthy, we increase our spending to put it into ICE and DHS and make facial recognition technology. I'm just saying it's bad for America. This is all bad for America. Now, if you don't care about America being bankrupt by ultra-wealthy people, it's fine.
22-year-old fucking little men like you running around.
Oh,
that have
are you
no
sad?
idea
Are
what
you
you're
sad?
talking about.
Because I understand. Oh, because you're a big government cuck. You're a big government cuck. You like that we're going to more national debt, right?
I'm sorry your dad
$6
didn't
trillion
love
more
you,
dollars.
bro.
Oh, look at the insults. $7 trillion more dollars to Jeffrey Epstein's private plane. Why do you defend child abusers? What's going on? Why does Trump want to protect Jeffrey Epstein, dude? What's going on here?
Dude, what color is that pivot dress you're wearing,
Donald
bro?
Trump said that P. Diddy's a good guy. He considered giving P. Diddy a pardon. Why did Trump do that? So you're bankrupting America with national debt. You're cutting taxes for the ultra wealthy. You're cutting health care from 17 million Americans just to increase ISIS funding. What? You hate America.
Okay, so being
another
that
250 billion to Israel. Another 250 billion to Israel.
Wow.
We did it. Mission accomplished.
Do you hear let me ask you.
Do you hear yourself?
Yeah. Do you ever play your videos back?
Do you hear yourself right now? Yeah, I'm hearing myself make a bunch of base points about America being great, and you're just like, I think the government should be trusted no matter what. That's what you're saying. And I disagree.
I think you should.
As long as I like the politician, and the politician goes on my favorite podcast. If he goes on my podcast and I like him, that means he's good. That's your entire philosophy.
Have you ever been out of the country, sir?
Oh, I've been out of the country many times.
Where'd you go?
Oh, I just walked across the border over and over again despite Trump.
Okay, so you're just not going to answer the question?
I just go back and forth across the border. I'm the person bringing all the fentanyl from Canada. That's why he's doing tariffs.
Oh, that's
me, dude.
It's a very interesting thing to say, dude. I mean, it's a simple question. I mean, I could tell you, if you asked me that question, I could tell you. I could tell you exactly what countries I went to. I mean, all
countries are fake imaginary lines. Trump said that countries are fake imaginary lines with Canada.
There it is.
So
there it is.
Yeah.
There
so
it is.
Yeah, I think I agree with Trump. Countries are not real. That's what Trump said.
So do you believe in self-governance?
What kind of self-governance?
Where the people decide?
Well, I like a republic. I wouldn't do a full direct democracy or anything like that.
Okay, so the public, arguably the largest jury pool, right, decided that they wanted to elect Donald Trump. Okay, and furthermore, CNN poll done just last week says that 58 to 62% of Americans want the people here illegally to be deported. So
Yeah.
are you going to
You
tell
know what?
me?
You know what the polls
gonna
are
tell me,
for Kilmar Abrego Garcia? Do you
What?
know what the polls are for that? Do you know what the polls are for Kilmar Abrego
Okay.
Garcia?
Sir, you can make your points. That's fine. You can pivot. That's fine. But what
Yeah,
I
because
want
you
you
don't
to
like other
understand-
Americans. You don't respect anybody in America because you know
Mhm.
that we don't disagree on illegal immigration or someone who's
Mhm.
violent in America. But when you ask Americans, if someone's here 20 years, should you give them a path to citizenship or amnesty? They say yes. 70% say yes to that question. They're against doing what the Trump administration is doing right now, which is why his immigration numbers are even below water. And that's his most popular topic. But no one disagrees with that one number you just said. We disagree with the brutalization of peaceful people in America who are visa overstays and civil infractions. We should give them a
Peaceful
path to
people
citizenship.
in America.
Yeah, because after a corporation abuses an
let me
immigrant for
ask
10
you-
years,
hold
that's
on,
cheap
hold on.
labor. They should have a
I
path to
have-
citizenship. They could pay taxes.
You obviously aren't
going to
answer one of my questions.
I believe in
You're not
Jesus'
gonna
teachings.
You're not going to.
Hey, listen, if you are going to go against Jesus Christ right now on my live stream, you can do that too. I'm okay with that. I'm not. I mean, I'm not okay with that. But...
Okay. I'm gonna engage very, very honestly with you. Do you think that Jesus was a uniter or a divider at the time that he lived?
He was both.
Both. How
Yeah,
can you be both?
he was a
That's
divider.
An oxymoron statement,
He was
bro.
he was a divider when it comes to the people in charge, the over-militarized government at the time. I mean, Palm Sunday's all about that, right? No war horse. You don't need a war horse. You come in peacefully, not weapons. You got plants with you, brother. He's a divider of the
he was
fascist government.
He was a divisive figure, was he not?
You know who's divisive? Moses, splitting that sea in half, dude.
So you're just not going to answer one question. I just have one more question, and then I'm just going to stop wasting my time. What is the advantage of being a citizen of a country?
It means I get to vote, and I get a really cool badge that says I voted.
Okay, and when you vote, you have people that are going to represent you, right?
Yeah, which is why I think it's bad the federal government is superseding states' rights, because we have local representatives too, which is why our system is so cool, right?
Well, we have a thing called the Supremacy Clause. There's that.
Wait, is that like a
also,
racist Santa Claus? Is that racist Santa, the Supremacy Clause? Like racist Santa Claus? What the hell?
The Supremacy Clause says that the Constitution is the highest law of the land, and Congress writes laws that follow that Constitution. And so when we look at current immigration law, which is written under the constitutional guidelines, then it's been deemed constitutional, and the people that changed the laws haven't changed them to what you want to be. So you can wish and you can hope and you can want all you want, but until the laws are changed, you're just
you can't even work with this because Biden did not do anything illegally with the asylum policies in America. If with that logic, you should be 100% in favor of Biden's policies, following with asylum laws and protective status. Because I mean, you're probably against that.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Trump is denying asylum claims right now. But you just pick and choose what to follow. I'm critiquing the practices of ICE and their leadership and the brutalization of immigrants. And Trump talking about immigrants as if they are rats that should be exterminated. I'm against that. And you're in favor of that. You're okay with it. And I'm against that Hitler talk, bro.
So if your claim is true, then why did Mayorkas get impeached in the House?
Because Christmas Eve comes early sometimes.
High crimes. It's called high crimes and misdemeanors.
He was high on marijuana.
And
that's crazy. You know, it's kind of crazy though. Like if someone's in America 20 years, let's say they worked for Home Depot, all right, and they were making like I don't know, they're on a work visa, and ICE shows up and they say, "Hey, buddy, guess what? Your visa's gone. You're here illegally." No, I want to ask you, like, if that situation happens and the federal government says we took away your visa.
You're not debating in good faith.
Okay, no, seriously though, I'm genuinely curious. Would you say that person should be deported if the federal government says your permit's gone now, no criminal record, or should that person have a path to citizenship at that point?
So, unbeknownst to you, when these people come through, they have a questionnaire that they fill out. They have their fingerprints taken. They have their picture taken, and they have to sign a contract. And that contract is with the federal government, and they're considered to be a privileged status individual.
Okay, then should the federal government be taking away their citizenship at last second and detaining them instantly? Should they be doing that, or give them a date to leave if they don't take away their status?
That, sir. I'm trying to answer that.
You're so sassy.
Okay?
Answer my question directly. It's so sassy for no reason.
I am. No, I'm not sassy. I'm just saying that when you are a privileged status individual, that means that somebody gave you something, right? And the government is giving this status to this person. Because they did that, there's certain things that they have to obligate through the contract. One of them is they need to have their papers on them at all times. Like, I, as a citizen, don't have to do that because I'm not a privileged status.
ICE
That's
has
number
even
one.
detained citizens. So it doesn't matter if you have your papers; they still detain you in this current situation.
Can I just
I just want to know your values as an American. I want to know your values. If you think that person, when the government gives them a 5-minute notice that their rights are taken away, that their legal status is taken away, should they be detained instantly, or should they have time to self-deport in a month, or should they just be detained with questions later, like put them in alligator Alcatraz?
To be honest with you, I'd rather an American have that fucking job at Home Depot.
Can you answer my question? We're talking about the brutal treatment of immigrants.
No,
I'm just saying, should the federal government?
Every time I make a point.
Yeah, because you're a big government cuck. You're just giving
pivot.
cover for the big government, bro. I'm just asking, should the government should they walk up and say this person's an illegal MS-13 gang member when they're working at Home Depot just because they want to justify putting them in a cage? Like, give them a few. Like, if you want to deport them, you can say they have the legal they have the legal right to take away their status at any time. Okay, if they can take away the work permit at any time, tell them, hey, we're taking away your permit. Leave in a month. Don't go to their workplace and brutalize them and separate them from their families and throw them in a cage. Don't do that. You don't got to set up ICE everywhere with militarized gear with a $50 billion budget. You don't need to do that. I mean, in my opinion. But if you're pro-authoritarian, I can't really help you.
Every point that I've made, you pivot right away. You change the subject, and then you come up with some
you're obfuscating.
crazy
You're not
scenario.
getting to it's not a crazy scenario. Yeah,
No.
okay, but I'm just saying this is why Republicans are going to lose, is because they cannot stop terrorizing immigrants, and people like you cover for them, and people are going to turn against it. Joe Rogan's already doing it. Theo Vaughn's already doing it. Tim Dillon's already doing it, and it's going to fall apart. And I hope you're there to see it. And have a good night. Thank you for calling. Who else is going to call? Let's see what we got. For the conservatives sending me emails or links saying Obama's deportations have been mostly for nonviolent crimes, okay? That is showing your hypocrisy, because I would criticize that. And the left did criticize Obama's deportations. But Republicans said that Donald Trump won the presidency in 2016 because he was hard on immigration and Democrats weren't. So if you're going to say Obama was hard on immigration, which he was, Tom Homan was brought in under Obama. Tom Homan won awards under Obama. Okay? Obama built this machine Trump's currently using. You cannot both say Trump was elected because of immigration being an issue and also say Obama was hard on immigration. You know what I mean? Because then you're just showing your mask off. Your mask is off at that point, that you elected Trump because he called Mexicans rapists and Obama didn't. Obama got the deportations you wanted. But you were not happy until someone came along and called them rapists. You were not happy until Trump came along and said that Haitians were eating cats and dogs. You were not happy until Trump came along and said we should shoot them dead like animals and that they're vermin and they're poisoning the blood of America. You were not happy until the racist element and the anger was added to it. You were not happy until then. You're self-revealing. Thank you, Exter, for $5. ICE is racially profiling with no probable cause. How is it legal? You know what's hard, Exter? Thank you for $5. I really appreciate it. The hard thing is, if you tell a conservative that, they're going to say, do you have a thought for it? Do you have a thought? They'll trust the big government because they're a cuck. And then they'll be like, do you have a thought for it? And you'll give them a source. And they'll say, CBS, I can't trust CBS. And then they'll say, you're a liberal pussy and leave. Once you, like, it's just... the big conversation we're having, and yeah, they are profiling people, throwing people. They detained an American citizen for 10 days because they are brown and had an accent. Okay, because ICE is going after quotas and numbers, and they're enjoying it. But the big thing here is Republicans and Trump fans are so far gone, they are never going to change their minds. Okay, some Trump voters will, but if you are supporting Trump right now, like a little baby cuck, a beta cuck, and a government cuck, then you're going to keep on doing that. All right. We got to get people who can see what's wrong with what's happening right now, who voted for him begrudgingly because they did not trust Democrats. We have to get independents as well. But the core MAGA base that's going to be happy about alligator Alcatraz, they will never change their minds. Do not waste energy off of them. Okay. Do not waste energy even talking to them. There's no purpose for it. Nothing you really got to do there. Nothing you can do. Who doesn't work at Home Depot? People that have work permits work at Home Depot. Illegal immigrants don't, or people that are here illegally. But there are definitely immigrants working at Home Depot. I don't know what you mean by that. This is the YouTube.
What up? Is your name Jolah?
Sure.
So what you want to talk about, big dog? You want to hate on some MAGA people?
Nah, I don't care about MAGA people.
Why not? You seem to be talking a lot about them. You there? Can you hear me?
So,
Am I coming through clear?
you are coming clear.
Hold on. Is this the right number?
Who? Don't listen to them, Carly. It is annoying when people call in and they say like, what do you want to talk about? It's like, bro, you're calling. You give me the topic. Hello?
Hello?
Howdy.
What's up?
Nothing much, are you? Perfect. Good talk. Nice. We love that. Very cool. What's going on here? Bill. Who wants to talk about the Texas floods? Home improvement work? Oh, well, it's going to be both workers and also anyone who's going to be there, too. But I mean, I'm sure you're not saying there's no immigrants in these areas, but like, in terms of people working at Home Depot, but or what kind of immigrants you mean? Here, I'm gonna open up a second live stream. I don't know why this doesn't ring anymore. Hello?
Hey man, what's up?
Nothing. What's up? Nice. True. Most capable, yeah. Well, we're not going to get any callers. How about this guy, dude?
Is the current DNC chair, Ken Martin, fellow Minnesotan, used you as an example in saying the party is a big tent. It can welcome people from different ideological, geographic perspectives. I think he used the example of you couldn't win a race in Ilhan Omar's district and she couldn't win a race in yours. Is there room for you and Mamdani in the Democratic Party?
You know, I think it's a fine question. I think it's one that many Republicans have been asking about, whether there's room for traditional conservatives in a.
Bro, I'm not talking to traditional conservatives anymore, bro. If you are not voting Democrat at this point, you are not a real conservative. You're not gonna vote Democrat ever. If the current Trump admin does not make you become a Democrat or at least vote for them, I'm not gonna pander to
Party
you.
now led by MAGA Republicans like Donald Trump. The answer ultimately, I think, is no. You know, we do share many of the same values.
Mamdani
in fact, most
cannot be in the
Americans
party.
share a lot of the same values. But as a political party, yes, you want diversity. You want some differences of opinion, perspective, life story, politics, and experience. But when you have socialists in the Democratic Party.
George Orwell was a Democratic Socialist. Albert Einstein was a Democratic Socialist. It's just so crazy that you can just say the word socialist. You imagine like someone who's famous, who was a U.S. representative, can't be so stupid to like talk like this, but they might be. They might be.
I don't know how anybody could argue that that would be beneficial for the party or for the country. Therein lies the great challenge. Same thing on the right, Omar. Is MAGA the future of the Republican Party? If it is,
same thing on the right. Both sides.
There is going to be a new, grand, successful third party in America.
This guy's so stupid, dude. Oh, he's getting paid by Elon or something, dude. This guy is literally a piece of garbage. Holy crap, he's so dumb.
They want decency, they want common sense, competency, and cooperation. And no party right now is elevating candidates who represent those ideals.
Oh, he's a very let's have a Mecca Hitler Grok party with Elon Musk, guys. That's what we need. That's what we need, dude. Thank goodness we have a real leader to help us out. Dean Phillips. Wow. That's an AI bot. Someone said, "Hello, chat room participants. Hello, chat room participants. Welcome to my stream." Crazy. Okay, guys, I made a new stream. Go to the new stream. Hopefully, we can get some callers. I will go to the new stream. I made a new one on my channel. Go over there. I'll see you there. I'll see you there. I have another stream up on my channel. I'm going to that one. See you there. See you there. See you there. See you there. Stalin was a menace. Okay, see you at the other stream. Go there.